Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our bold analysis. Raila-Uhuru Odinga's last 20 years in politics since 2002 have seen him cut an image of a person that is very accommodative and breeding leaders. How do you think this man, Junet Mohamed, broke the ceiling to become Raila-Uhuru Odinga's most trusted ally? And today, I have exclusive research on this, and I can promise you we will have a very interesting show in this. Junet Mohamed was born in Mandera, but they settled in Nakuru, Kisii, and also found their way to Migori, where the father stayed. He will then pick up his politics from there. But one of the person that he will then meet to change his politics is Raila Odinga. The position that Junet Mohamed is playing now around Raila Odinga's presidential campaign is a position that have been reserved for Raila Odinga's most trusted people. In 2007, Raila Odinga brought Miguna from Canada to become his personal PA. And Miguna was more powerful than even those people who are friends of Raila Odinga, like the late Otieno Kajwang or James Orengo and the rest of the team. And remember, after Miguna, something happened, and Miguna will then come and publish a book in 2012, Peeling Back the Mask, which to date, I believe, he was being used by competitors of Raila Odinga to just strangle Raila Odinga's campaigns. Then there came Karoli Omondi. Karoli Omondi went, but I think because he was eyeing for the Suba North parliamentary seat against Mbadi, and Mbadi was handed a ticket, that's when there was a fallout with Raila Odinga, even though we understand he's back in the party. And remember the Kibera guy. Then Willis Otieno, who is now currently with Jimmy Wanjigi. Those are some of the people that have been in that position. But how did Junet Mohamed win the trust of Raila Odinga? And not just Raila and President Uhuru Kenyatta. I think, for the record, if there is a politician that understood, or rather knew about the handshake, that was Junet Mohamed, Paul Mwangi, Raila Odinga's lawyer, Winnie Odinga, and Raila Odinga. And on the day of that handshake, he was there. But let me just give you a brief snippet on how Junet Mohamed really was baptized by fire. In 2002, he was the campaign treasurer for Charles Owino Likoa. Charles Owino Likoa was vying for Migori constituency. That was before Migori was split into Suna East and Suna West. Then in 2013, he was nominated as a councillor in Migori. He served in that position up to until 2007, where he was again be appointed as the mayor. These were very interesting developments that were playing out in the party. But I want you to look at this, I want you to listen to this instant, where you see how Raila Odinga saved Junet Mohamed from what many people have always argued as the vultures that were actually working from the Orange House. Now listen to this.
I've spoken to Junet. By the way, this is interesting. So because Junet yeye amefanya nomination, ametangazwa mshindi, amefika Nairobi, mimi hata sikufika Nairobi, na returning officer.
Wewe alikumalizia vile.
Na returning officer. Junet ameambiwa sasa ongojea certificate. Junet, somebody calls nani, who was the election leader, was he this guy, the state house control, alikuwa anaitwa Kibet, Franklin Migori mmefanyaje? Migori ni nani? Na alafu Junet anamwambia uliza ina ile oria ya Migori. Na huyo oria ya Migori mumempa? Ati huyo ni pesa, John Pesa.
John Pesa
ndiye amepewa. John Pesa was an MP also. Junet na akuwin. Junet told me we walked outside to check whether oxygen still exists in this world. Akaifuta mara mbili very fast. Then he sat down. Then immediately picked this phone. Akapigia nani? Akapigia, he knew the bodyguards of Raila. So that's why I'm saying I realize how far he was, because he knew them. Akawapigia akawambia, baba ametoka Northeastern but atakaa in this hotel within an hour. Junet went there. Junet kufika huko akapata kina Jacoyo Midio. Wakamwambia wewe toka hapa. Kwanza wewe unajua umenini? Wewe ulishindwa huko. Then wakaanza kunini. Baba akachukua vitu zake, yeye naingia kwa gari. Akafuata baba akamwambia baba, hii si haki. Baba akamwambia Junet, unajua wamesema ukipewa ticket Wajaluo watachoma msikiti ya Migori. Akasema but I was a mayor there. This is not fair. Wakaingia kwa gari yake. Yeye anafuata baba na gari, and baba anaenda mbele yake. Then baba akampigia akamwambia Junet, we have changed. You are the candidate. Junet akasema no baba, I'm just escorting you up to home. So I'm asking Junet why? Ananiambia you'll understand why. Wakafika nyumbani, Junet kila sani ongeza chai. Ongeza chai. Within sijui saa 2 hapo. Simu to baba. Nyongo and Dalmas and
Dalmas Otieno.
And nani Karoli Omondi. Mzee, hii mambo ya Migori wesienda hivi. It cannot be Junet. And you know Junet is listening. Raila anamwambia, nani ameweka huyo Junet? Nani ameweka huyo Junet? Ama ni huyu oria wao huyu wa UBC ndiye ameweka hiyo jina yake. And he's smiling. Then anafunga simu. Junet ongeza chai. He refused to leave because he knew what could happen. Then another phone call. Baba, tunakuja kwako. Msikuje, mimi nimelala. And he's smiling. And Junet now, you know, so I understand what Junet was guiding. Then kufika saa 4 list imeenda is when Raila calls Ongera to confirm something. Ongera anamwambia nimetoka ofisi na list imeenda. That's when Junet said finally. Somehow Junet is telling me ukiona nikisupport Raila, my friend, don't joke.
Now, that was Junet in 2013. He was vying. He had won the ODM nomination there. But the powerful forces around Raila Odinga, the Otieno Kajwang, that was Dalmas, Anyang' Nyong'o and James Orengo, did not want Junet. But to see the way Raila played a card to make sure, and he made a call and said, let that ticket go to Junet. Then he played with the rest of the team. By the way, Junet alipewa ticket, and at the same time, anaambia, Raila was telling the rest of the team, waende huko by saa 5 waende watafute court injunction that Junet has fake papers. Well, knowing very well that the list has gone to IEBC, and going to court, ataenda tu na bribe their way, you win that war in court and you got to become the candidate. So that is how Raila Odinga saved Junet Mohamed from what many people have always said as cartels within the ODM party. This has been the politics. Remember, even in 2012, before that election, the East African Legislative Assembly, I think, was taking people, or rather the political parties were nominating candidates. Now, out of the 6, Junet was ODM was supposed to nominate 5, and Junet name appeared huko, number 6. So he missed out, even though he went to that election. And if you look at this photo here, this is a photo of Raila Odinga going to endorse Junet Mohamed in Migori. So he went public and said, mnajua huyu? And he endorsed Junet Mohamed. From that moment, that's when the politics of Junet started. And he grew through the ranks to an extent of becoming to an extent of becoming the director of political affairs at the ODM party. I want you to look at this critically, and you will see that someone comes from somewhere. You don't just get to the shackles of power, and you don't just get to sit there. You have to come from somewhere. So I want you to listen to what happened in 2020 when Duale was ousted as the majority leader, and he was advising Duale the reason as to why he sticks with Raila Odinga.
My brother, when you see us following Baba like cows, we are fearing consequences like the one you are facing now. So politics is like that, Mukuba. It is today, if you go against the wishes of the people who own parties, the people who lead this country, the consequence is a good experience for me. I will be more loyal than I was now.
Sometime back, I think it was March, the very last rally that Raila held in Kisumu before coming back to Nairobi to announce his presidential bid, Junet Mohamed was asking Raila to speak in Swahili because Raila was speaking to the Luo. Now what was happening is there were international media houses that were covering that rally because that rally was politically significant. Maybe people were expecting that Raila was going to drop a hint on his presidential bid, or there were also speculation of Raila naming a candidate, a running mate. And so when he was speaking in the Luo, the journalists went and I think they asked Junet Mohamed to tell Raila to speak in Swahili. Now you want to see it has not been so easy, and it's been a relationship of a son versus a father. But then listen to how Raila responded to Junet. If you want to know that it's not that rosy.
Hello? Iwa kinamda wachi Swahili, jalo sijuturu. Hello, Swahili pele bwana. Hello? Ukani Kisumu. Ukani Kisumu.
So that is what politics is. It is not very easy just being around Raila Odinga. Now, do you remember some time, it was during this BBI process, and I think the contentious additional 70 constituencies was coming. So James Orengo and Otienda Molo flew to Nyatike. They went to Nyatike and southeastern Lego, my constituency. So in the BBA proposal, Nyatike was supposed to get additional constituency because it was supposed to be divided, and Lego Songa was also supposed to be divided initially. But the reviewed document was revealing that the Nyanza counties that were to benefit from those additional 70 constituencies, maybe they were squashed off, rather that was revoked and it was not there. So they were protesting, saying that Raila Odinga is being played by President Uhuru Kenyatta of the handshake. Now, it was only Junet Mohamed, who was the one Nyanza member of parliament, who stood with Raila Odinga and was saying that, look here, Raila Odinga is not being played. And you will see a politician that many times people have been seeing him as someone who is misadvising Raila. But the truth of the matter here is Junet Mohamed is not even a political advisor to Raila Odinga. I don't think he's into that rank. But he's someone that Raila Odinga trusts fully. James Orengo, Nyongo, and John Mbadi, these are people who have not been happy for Junet Mohamed. I remember the Kisumu rally where they kept on saying that Junet ataharibu hii kitu because Junet was not allowing the Nyanza members of parliament to speak in that rally. Many have actually criticized Junet on that ground. But look at the kind of trust that he has gotten. He was the chairman of the BBI committee alongside Dennis Waweru during the collection of the signature. Remember that committee that was formed? That was a committee of Jubilee and ODM, and while Dennis Waweru was running the show representing President Uhuru Kenyatta, Junet Mohamed was in charge on the other side of Raila Odinga. Now, he's the person who registered Azimio la Umoja One Kenya political party. Remember when Raila flew out of the country for treatment, when they were taking a private jet with Hassan Joho? Before he left, he said that the name Azimio la Umoja had been captured earlier. As early as September, the name had been registered, and that work was done by Junet Mohamed. And if you want to see the kind of trust, Junet Mohamed is the Secretary General of Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Party. These are positions that tells you the kind of trust that these politicians have on him. It is not that easy. I remember saying that he was the person who was paying allowances to Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula to go and market the BBI in their areas. All those choppers that Mudavadi and Wetangula were using to go and campaigning for BBI and signature collection, he was the person who was making those payments as the chairman of the BBI committee. Very, very critical and a playful role, a very critical role that he has played. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly subscribe to our channel and also click the notification bell. I have some 4 observations of the kind of a role that the people in the stature of Junet Mohamed play. Junet Mohamed is a buffer surface to Raila Odinga's political heat. He is the buffer, he is the cushion, because I want you to remember when the impeachment question came that Raila Odinga and William Ruto were talking to impeach President Uhuru Kenyatta. And when that narrative, when that conversation came up, secretly, Junet Mohamed held an interview with the Nation team, and the following day, there was a full page in Nation with Junet Mohamed explaining how Deputy President had approached them as ODM to impeach President Uhuru Kenyatta. That tells you that Junet Mohamed is someone that when there is a complaint, when something happens, and you'll see that even if he makes some blunders, Raila Odinga, you will not hear Raila saying, Junet asikuje, I don't want to say Junet, because he is a buffer surface to Raila Odinga. But the campaign machinery aspect in him can also be seen. Remember when the leaked audio was to be leaked in Homa Bay, the person who did that work is Junet Mohamed. The person who attacks Deputy President, combative, attacks Rigathi Gachagua, attacks Deputy President, sorry, attacks Deputy President, that can only be Junet Mohamed. Why? He comes from a community that is a minority. So if you go and attack Junet Mohamed, it's not the Luo that you're attacking. You're actually attacking a minority. You will not even see Eden Duale attacking Junet Mohamed. In the National Assembly, immediately in the second term, Adan Duale was like from Junet's side, and was a Somali, Kenya Somali, na yeye alikuwa the leader of majority. On the other side, minority leader was actually Junet Mohamed on the other side of ODM. So he's been someone who can attack, but will not hear Rigathi Gachagua, will not hear William Ruto and the rest of the team attacking Junet Mohamed. The people who can talk about Junet Mohamed are the Kimani Chungwa and the other small politicians. But politicians like William Ruto will not attack Junet Mohamed. So he's now playing that role, and now Raila brings in the sober and the mature politics. Raila is now a person that will speak to the heart of the mature people. They are also the gatekeepers. Nyanza, talk to a Nyanza MP. I have a privilege to some 3 I think are subscribers in this channel, and they will always tell you that kupata baba, hata kujua baba atakuwa wapi, ama baba anaenda Mombasa na baba atalala wapi. Baba has many PAs. Kuna hao PA malipewa na hiyo Raila kona PA huyo wa AU, there is a PA and a ODM, there is a personal PA, there is now Junet, but all of them, the person that will tell you the truth if you want to know where Baba is, that is Junet Mohamed. Not even the daughter. Junet Mohamed will tell you where Raila Odinga is, where Raila Odinga is going to sleep, and where everything. So that tells you the kind of trust that is being given. Because even the security of these people, if they're to be compromised, then there are those other leaders. But then look at the head of special projects. They do special projects for politicians. BBI was a special project for Raila Odinga. In case of any other special thing that Raila is playing, that can only be done by Junet Mohamed. Ladies and gentlemen, why do you think Raila and President Uhuru trusts Junet Mohamed? I want to read in the comment section.